So there's a lot of interesting things going on right now in the NBA. I think the first thing that they just recently mentioned was Al Horford. He's actually opting out of his contract with the Celtics. So next year, they're going to be down one big man. So that's going to be interesting just because you wouldn't expect the Celtics, as far as like anyone else besides Kyrie, to actually end up and leaving for the most part, unless something else might be going on where they don't think the team's going to be as strong for next year, or maybe other people have plans of parting ways too. Alvin Gentry is actually also going to get another year as a head coach with the Pelicans. So that kind of tells you what the GM and the different owners think of the team that's going to be coming up for next year, which is going to be interesting just because with them getting the first pick and possibly getting Zion, that's going to be good for them because then they'll be able to kind of build around these younger players, kind of start something for the Pelicans team that's going to have to be team oriented for the most part. They have a lot of talent. Next year is just going to make it even better with all the people that they're going to be getting. And speaking of the Pelicans, Julius Randle's also opting out of his option, so he's going to become a free agent. So a lot of things that are happening with the Pelicans as far as like trading Anthony Davis, getting the three people from, the Lakers, and then also having, Julius Randle say that, hey, I don't want to be a part of this, and opting out and wanting to look and see what's out there in free agency. It kind of makes you wonder what's happening with the Pelicans. Personally, I think that they're going to do just fine next year. I don't think they're going to be, an above average team for the most part, but it is going to be a growing season for them. It's going to allow them to mostly just kind of show off their talents, kind of show that they are worth picking up. I think it's going to be a breakout year for, a lot of them as far as like Brandon Ingram, Lonzo. It's definitely going to be good for Zion too, because they're going to not only have to form some team chemistry, but also they're going to have to put their best foot forward and bringing their talents to the table. Because they're not going to really have any leadership there with everyone leaving. They're going to be basically the leaders of their own team, so they get to shape it in the way that they want to, which is either going to make them mature really quick, or it's just going to show that, they're really trying to become like all-star caliber players. Hopefully they're going to do well. I mean, honestly, if they do get the team chemistry down, I think they can win at least, 55, maybe 60 games for next year. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. They might maybe make it to the playoffs if they're lucky, but outside of that, it's mostly going to be just focusing on them honing their talents and kind of showing, their best foot forward and seeing what they can do. Also, just recently came out that Steve Nash actually had kind of endorsed RJ Barrett, kind of saying that he's going to be an elite force in the league, which is an interesting thing to, hear from Steve Nash, especially from a point guard perspective, just because, as a point guard, you really get to see the different people that you play with on that team, and you kind of get to see their talents and you kind of get to expound on their potential. So for him to see that in RJ Barrett, it kind of reminds all of us that RJ Barrett was a great player, still is a great player, and when he gets drafted, he's definitely going to be a top 5 pick. Now, where he goes to, I don't really know, but I honestly think it would be best if he ended up getting onto a team with other, veteran players, because he's already talented and being able to shoot, being able to pass. I mean, if he really has to, he can play the point guard position. It's going to be a quicker league for him, but at the same time, he has a vision. He was able to get Zion the shots that he needed, even to make some threes, and also with Cam Reddish, being able to get him open too, and then also scoring himself, being able to make plays and drive if he needed to do so. He's a team-oriented player, so he's definitely going to do great when it comes to, being under some veterans. But for him, it'd be awesome if he ended up going to a team like the Spurs under Greg Popovich, because obviously with Kawhi Leonard, you can even say like Danny Green, obviously Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, they all were able to learn not only how to work as a team, but how to be better as individuals and bring something to the team too. So for him to be under Pop, I think that would be great, just because of the fact that he'd be able to learn that championship mentality. And also, if he ends up going to a different team later, he'd be able to bring that caliber, if not bring some more wins to the Spurs itself. Because right now the Spurs aren't looking too good. I think you have Paul Gasol, who might be edging toward retirement. You also have LaMarcus Aldridge, who's been declining for the past few years. So the Spurs aren't really looking that great. They don't really have too much in the way of a point guard, because right now you have Murray, you have White, you have Mills. all decent players when it comes down to it. Popovich has definitely increased their game and elevated them to a higher level, but none of them are really all-star caliber, point guards. So for RJ to be able to make it to the Spurs, that would be a great fit for him, just because he gets that leadership role, and then also he'd be able to kind of figure out his game a little bit better and how he can translate that from college into the NBA. So a lot of great things taking place here with the Pelicans, with the Lakers. It's kind of looking downhill for the Celtics. I feel like the team is getting ready to split up a little bit, especially if you have somebody like Al Horford saying that he's not even going to, give it another chance for next year. For him being older now and not really being able to, dominate the game as much. He definitely still put up a lot of great points. He definitely brought something to the Celtics team. But for him to say that it's better to go into free agency and try out the market, hoping that a team picks him up rather than actually getting a guaranteed next year with the Celtics, it kind of shows that there's a lot more going on behind the scenes with the Celtics than what we're really seeing. You still got Tatum, you still got Jaylen Brown, you still have a lot of great players on the team, but who knows what's really happening in the camp, who knows what's really happening as far as going for next year. Honestly, they might be feeling a little bit down about the whole Kyrie situation and how he's getting ready to leave and do something different. So it's going to be a very interesting offseason, and it's going to be a great, beginning of next season to see what all happens and to see how everything kind of comes together. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that the Celtics are going to disband? Do you guys think that, RJ Barrett's going to be a good fit somewhere else other than the Spurs? And then also let me know what you think about the Pelicans being so young and also possibly bringing in Zion. I'll catch you guys later.